Good morning, everybody. It's Mr. Mulvihill here. Hope you guys are doing well. Grab a. Just gonna do a notes today. We're gonna take it one step further. That's how math goes. You know that. And grab a piece of paper, follow along, try these questions with me, and you should be just fine for the assignment. And that's the last thing you got to do for this week. All right, here. So let's see. We're gonna find the domain and range of the graph here. Now, what's one thing you notice that's different? It would be the arrow. The arrow. This graph is not set between 2 points. It's going on forever. So we're going to have to keep that in mind when we do our domain and range. So what is the smallest x-coordinate? We're still doing our table here. You might not have a table on a test or in real life, but it's good help for us. So what is the smallest x-coordinate? Well, if you look here, the smallest x-coordinate is 1. What is the largest x-coordinate? Well, it's really not 10 because this means it keeps going. And then if you were to continue the x-axis, this would be like 15, 20. So if you see, the x-axis is going to continue going, and this graph is also going to continue going. Here would be 30, 40. So if you get the idea, it's really going to be infinity. It's going to go on forever. So the largest, most right point on the graph is really infinity. All right, what's the smallest y-coordinate, the one furthest down? Well, again, by the same logic, now we're kind of looking down though. Right here, it's going to be negative 10. That's the smallest point, but it keeps going and going and going. Now it would be negative 20. And if you just keep going, the smallest y is really going to end up being negative infinity. And then, for the largest y-coordinate, well, how high up does it go? It's the highest point it goes, right up here by this 3. So it's going to be 3. All right, so with that, we should be good to write our interval notation. That's going to be from 1 bracket to infinity. And for infinity, we're always going to have an open parentheses. Why is that? Because open parentheses means we don't include the point. You can never get to infinity no matter how high you count, so we can't include it. So that's an open parentheses. For set builder notation, what we're going to do is just kind of, take maybe one step back and just look at it. All of our x values are between, they start at 1 and then they go on forever, right? They start at 1 and then they just keep going on forever, following that path. So we can say that all of our x values are greater than or equal to 1. Because really, if you start at 1, right here, all of our points are to the right of that. So in English, it'll be all x values greater than or equal to 1. All right, let's do our range. Interval notation. You guys try that out. Pause the video. You'll get negative infinity, open parentheses, to 3, close parentheses. It's open because we can never get to negative infinity. Set builder notation. Well, if you look at the graph, the y values, where are our y values? Are our y values up here? Nope. They are all down here in this area. So it's really all of our y values are less than or equal to 3. Because once you get to 3 on your y values, there's no more up here. It's all below 3. All right, in English, it's all y values less than or equal to 3. All right, let's look at this next one here. You guys try to fill in the table at least, then we can try to do the notation together. Okay, so the smallest x-coordinate is going to be -5. The largest x-coordinate, the furthest to the right, is going to be positive infinity. The furthest down on our graph, furthest down point on our graph is -1, occurs right about there. And our furthest up, it's not going to be 6, because the graph keeps extending upward. It's going to be infinity. Okay, so the domain for interval notation will be -5 to infinity. For step builder notation, it's going to be all x values greater than or equal to -5. Because once you get greater, if you're greater than -5, yeah, up here, that's where our graph is. It's not over here. There's nothing up there. So it's all x values greater than or equal to -5. In English, you can say all, another way of saying this is all real numbers greater than or equal to -5. Why all real numbers? Can numbers be fake? They actually can. You can learn that in a couple of years. So these are all real numbers. 1.2, square root of 5, 1/3, all of this stuff. All right, the range here is going to be from -1, hard bracket, to infinity. Step builder notation, it's all y values greater than or equal to -1, and all y values greater than or equal to -1. All right? Okay, so let's try this one out. I just want to make one quick adjustment on this graph. All right, so what is the smallest x-coordinate here? The one furthest to the left. Way down here and out, so that's going to be -infinity. The rightmost is going to be 6. The furthest down is going to be -infinity for the range. And the largest y value of the range is going to be 0, right here. So in interval notation, the range is going to be -infinity, open parentheses, to 6. Now with 6, if you look, there's an open circle. If you guys remember open circles from our inequalities unit, that means we don't include that point. It's not really there. So it's -infinity to 6, open parentheses. Open again means we don't include. 6 really isn't in the domain since there's not a point there. It's open. In step builder notation, it's all x values less than 6, not less than or equal to, because it can't equal 6. There's no point there. So again, all x values less than 6. The range is going to be from -infinity to 0. Open parentheses there, and at 0 there is a point. There is a point there. So hard bracket. Step builder notation, it's going to be all y values less than or equal to 0. So English, all y numbers less than or equal to 0. All right. That's that. Last one here. Why don't you guys pause the video, give it a try, and then I'll give you your answers. All right, so for the smallest x-coordinate, it's not -9 nor -10. If you really think about it, though it goes slowly, is the graph still going left? Is it ever going to not go left? No, it's going to continue going left forever. So it's going to be -infinity. And the same can be said about the right. I know it's going slow to the right, but it's still going to the right. I mean, if we took it way up here, look. Now we're at like 15. Yeah, it's going to go on forever and ever. It might go slow, but it's going to go on forever and ever. The furthest y point down is going to be 1, and then the furthest up is obviously going to be infinity based on what we just said. Now, let's do our interval notation. For the domain, the smallest x is negative infinity all the way to infinity. Infinity is always get open parentheses because we can't include them because we can't get to infinity. Set builder notation is just going to be, this is a little weird. I don't have to think about this. I guess you could do negative infinity x to infinity, but it's really just all numbers. Negative infinity to infinity is all real numbers. For the range, that's going to be 1 to infinity, open parentheses around the infinity, and we have a point right here. Even if there wasn't a point, we have a solid line. That counts too. So that's going to be a hard bracket. Set builder notation is all y values greater than or equal to 1. In English, all real numbers greater than or equal to 1. Alright, that's all I got, you guys. Rewind the video if you need it, and as always, reach out to a friend or me if you need help. Alright, have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend. Take care.